Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie Collab. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this. Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. I just celebrated 15 years in the network marketing industry. I can't believe it. 15 years have gone by fast, and at the same time, it feels like a long time ago. I have been bubbling, because I've wanted to discuss, and there's so many things that I want to say. I needed some time to see how I can say it. Now, listen, if you are not into network marketing, if you have no interest in network marketing, this podcast is also for you because it's really about growth, and I'm not trying to recruit you. That's one of the things that I'm going to talk about is I was asked, what have you learned over the past 15 years? And what would you say to your younger self when you were starting out? Someone on Facebook asked me that question and I loved it. So this is really not to recruit you. And if you are in a network marketing business, this is also great for you. But really, this applies to anybody. So let's do this. First, I'm going to talk about my hesitation, and it's been over 2 weeks that I hit the 15-year mark, and I really wanted to make a post on Facebook, and I wanted to also discuss it on my podcast, but there was something that had me stuck. Now, there are regulations in the network marketing business that prevent representatives from making income claims. So you are not allowed to say such things as become a network marketer and you can have complete freedom. Or I was able to retire myself, my spouse. And so the reason for that is that according to the industry officials, you don't want to promote something that is unlikely to happen for many. And they want you to promote what is possible for most. And that makes me bananas because, you see, I'm struggling already. That makes me bananas because I know what my experience was, and I know what the experience of certain individuals that I know have had with network marketing. And so I'm not allowed to talk about my experience with specific numbers when promoting the opportunity. So I don't do that. And so I have to sort of decide, let me steer away from what I truly believe and mixing it up with network marketing because I'm just trying to respect the guidelines. Although the guidelines, I'm not trying, I'm doing it. Although the guidelines are for recruiting. So you will not see me say things like, you can make millions of dollars in network marketing, so come and join my team. So I won't say that. I don't promote that way. You're not allowed to promote that way. And so it's really not a problem. But the truth is, it does bother me that the regulations say that we are not allowed to basically say dream big. There, I said it. I just said it. We're not allowed to say dream big, and that you can make this happen because they say that the evidence doesn't support that. But I have my theories about that, that if more people believe that it was possible for them and that they really worked on themselves, their limiting beliefs and their mindset, I believe that more people could have success. And the reason that I'm saying I'm not trying to recruit you is because of several reasons. I know many people that listen to my podcast number one, have no interest in network marketing. They might be business owners or they might have other dreams, and I'm totally okay with that. I also know that I have people who are in network marketing and happily doing network marketing already. And so I'm not trying to recruit you. And then three, I really want to have an open conversation about network marketing without having to worry about the restrictions. Am I breaking any rules? But I thought about it too, that rules are kind of like poetry. So with poetry, you have parameters, you have rules. One stanza has to be a certain number of lines and there has to be a certain number of syllables. And so, okay, so I'll play within the rules and I'll talk within the rules. So I said that piece about the claims of what you're not allowed to do, but can we work around them? And I'm going to get to that part as well. So what are some of the things that I've learned in my 15 years and that I wish I would have known way back then? When I started as a Beachbody coach, I was like this giant ball of freaking fire and energy. And now I understand, because I'm super into human design. Human design, it's kind of like astrology, kind of like a mixture of all these, the I Ching, the Kabbalah. And so I actually do give up a light. My human design, I'm a 6-2 generator. And so I actually do get, when I'm lit up by something, I figuratively give off a light, because my sacral, that's the area around my belly button, gets lit up. And I just got goosebumps. And when that happens, I become like a bonfire that people want to be around, right? So this is not me being braggadocious. This is me. This is the truth. This is what I've seen in my life. And so when I started with Beachbody, I had that intense fire because I had found something that I believed in and that had completely transformed my life. And so what I didn't know back then, because I didn't know myself the way that I know myself now. I'm 48 years old. I was 33 back then. And I kind of feel like I was like an immature 33-year-old, even though I had been married. I think being in school for so long, I was in school till I was like 31 or 32. I think it kept me a little bit immature. Anyway, I didn't know that I was the magic, that it was my sacral, that part of me that was on fire, that was the magnet. So I built my business very organically, very much, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just doing it and excited to be doing it. I do recognize now that I am the magic, that I have to do things that I love in order to be magnetic. And why does that matter? Because I'm not talking about recognizing that I'm the magic as in like, oh, she thinks she's the shit. No, not at all. It's more that when you recognize your own power, then you're better able to attract people into the business that are also people who recognize their own power. And I would have had even more success because I would have taken myself a little bit more seriously, and I would have attracted more business builders. Why does this matter? Because I spent many years just putting my fire out there, being exactly who I was, just like this, like big hot mess it felt like, even though it was very driven and goal-oriented and all of that. But I spent a lot of time with a lot of people that signed up to work with me, but they didn't really want to work. I think that maybe a lot of the people just wanted to be around that light. And so I spent way too many hours doing Zoom calls, getting on video calls, trying to, sometimes it's like I was herding cats. I'm not kidding. And the network marketing mentors that were around and that my company hired, they all said that. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But I didn't really connect that to myself. I didn't really connect that to my power, to my internal inner power. If I had recognized that truly I am the magic, just like you are the magic. And if I had recognized my own worth, then I would have asked myself the question, which is something that you can ask yourself, is, do I believe that I am worthy of attracting an ideal client? Do I believe that I am worthy of attracting, so if you have your own business, whether it's network marketing or not, do I believe that I am worthy of attracting an amazing team member that is going to build an empire? I don't believe that I asked that question. And I believe that if I had asked myself, am I worthy of that? And then looked at the evidence, I think I would have reassessed my approach. And it's not all about the strategy. You can do all the things. You can talk to X many people a day. You can post 20 times a day. You can post 3 times a day. Whatever the posting norm is at the time, you can do all the things. And I've seen this a lot. And you can still not be an incredible leader. And that's because people are attracted to your power. And John Maxwell, the great leader, the leader of leaders, always says this. What is your lid? So if you're a level 4 leader, you're not going to attract a level 8 leader. You're only going to attract a level 3 leader. And so while I've gotten the recognition, I mean, Beachbody invited me to a call where I was one of the legends, and they chose 4 people out of all the people that I've ever coached. The evidence was there. This is a little painful because I've been invited to speak at, I don't know how many events. Year after year, I was invited to speak at leadership events and, our annual summits. The evidence was there that I was a great leader. And yet I see it clearly now that there was definitely a part of myself that didn't see myself as worthy and as a great leader. And so if I were looking back, I would say to myself, I would make the declaration, Barbie, you are worth it. Pursue this opportunity because of the joy and the pleasure that it gives you, and not because you're searching for validation. I have full body chills saying that. I was so always looking for validation. I was always looking for the gold stars. Yes, I liked the money, but I really needed back then the validation of the recognition. You're so awesome. You're so amazing. Here's an award. Here's this pin. Here's this gift. Here's this trip. And all those things are wonderful. But for me, I needed the validation. And so I would do things differently. But you know what? You can't change the past. Now, I know my worth. And so that's why I tell people, look, I'm not trying to recruit you. I'm not trying to convince you whether it's this or money magnet. I'm not trying to do anything. What I am doing is I'm placing myself in a position. I'm not even placing, I'm just being. That's it. I'm just being who I am. I'm like a lighthouse or just this light. And people that, this resonates. It's like I'm a tuning fork. And the people that resonate with me, they're going to come to me. They're just going to be magnetized towards me. And so I just had a thought that I'm like, are you guys thinking that I'm being cocky or, you know what? Screw that. Because this is not about cockiness. This is about owning your power. And so, yes, obviously there's still little remnants where I worry what are people going to think? But that has kept me playing small. When you recognize your own power, you are a magnet to other people that also resonate with that kind of power. And so I wish I would have known more about energetics. But like I said, you know what? It took all of that to get me to this point. And I sincerely, truly love who I am and what I'm doing. And so when it comes to network marketing, I just know that if I'm resonating and putting out there a certain frequency, that the right people are going to come to me. And so I'm not busy trying to convince anyone, sign up for this, sign up for that. And the same thing with my money magnet course. I don't cold message people and message people like, hey, I think you'd be great for my course. I think I did that to 2 or 3 people because I sincerely felt like they would be an amazing fit. But then I decided I'm not doing that, because if I put myself out there, and of course you have to put yourself out there, you have to talk about what it is that you're doing, then people are going to find me. And they have, and they do. So I don't have to shove anything down people's throats. And I think that that's something that I would tell you if you have a business, or if you want to start with network marketing, or if you are in network marketing. You don't have to shove your stuff down people's throats and just be like pushing things in their faces, but you have to be present, because they need to be able to know that you're available and they're going to be attracted to you. And so your biggest job is to work on who you are, on who you're being, what energy you're putting out there. Oh my God, I'm pumping myself up. And then as far as, I think the last thing I want to say is that if I would have taken myself more seriously as far as like my inner power, and I would have just taken for a given that I was worthy, that I am worthy, just like you are worthy, we all are, I probably, because I was going to say, I wish that I would have been a little bit more serious about strategy, but honestly, what does that mean? So strategy is do X, Y, Z. And then in quarter 2, like I saw someone posting in a group that I'm a part of, like, hey, does anyone know whatever information they were looking at? Because I'm trying to plan like quarter 4. You guys, I'm not that person. I am not a super strategic person, and yet I've had this amazing success. So in that sense, I'm a lot more feminine, that I kind of just go with my gut feeling and my heart feeling, and I go. But there is a part of me that wishes that I would have been a little bit more strategic. But as I'm speaking to you, I take that back, because I've done amazing in this business. I just think that if I would have valued myself more, and that I would have realized that I was the power and the magic, then I would have attracted more people that are powerful and actual builders. And that the strategy could have been my kind of random fly by the seat of your pants kind of strategy, because I do have a lot of masculine, and I am linear, decisive, and I get things done. And so I actually think I did that great. So those are my thoughts. And, my conclusion is that for those of you who are in network marketing, if you feel like you're kind of muzzled, as I have felt many times, with the income opportunity claims, what has become stronger in this particular episode to me, and very clear, is that you don't even have to talk about the money. You don't even have to talk about like quitting your job. Oh my God, this is such a breakthrough for me, because who you are, who you're being, is the message. Okay, that was the money phrase right there. Who you are is the message. Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps again. So people are going to come to you because of who you are, not because you're saying you quit your job or made X amount of dollars. That's it. Boom. This is where we're going to end. So I hope that you have enjoyed this message. I love this conversation. And again, I tend to not talk about it on Facebook. I'm trying to stay within the parameters of the guidelines, but I think I did a beautiful job in this episode. I love talking about it. So feel free to reach out. And then that we have your Empowered Life community over on Facebook. The link is in the show notes. And by the way, I am planning to change the name to something that is more updated. I just haven't decided on what that name will be. But if you have any suggestions, send them to me. I wanted something to do with like manifestation portal, something more in alignment with what I'm doing now. And then I also wanted to ask you to leave me a review, because they really do make a difference. It helps with the algorithm. And what that does, it puts me in front of more people. And ultimately, I want my message to be heard by more people so that I can have more impact. It's not so that I could be like, I'm so awesome. It's just so that I can have more impact and I could reach more lives. All right. Have an amazing day. And thank you for being here. Did you love that episode or what? Make sure to leave me a review and let's connect over on Facebook in Your Empowered Life community. I'll see you next time.